Welcome into our live episode of Tap and Eagle for our PGA Championship preview. And we bring back our favorite spotter, Andrew Shepard, who is on site this weekend, just arrived outside Philly at Aronimink. Andrew, how we doing? And how does that course look out there?
Doing great. It's fun to be back in Philly. I was in Philly back in September of last year, being with OU football radio and whatnot. We were playing Temple or whatnot. So yeah, it was great, but got into town quickly and head right to the course and got to take a first glance at it and everything, and it's well set up. It's impressive. It really is. It's a nice layout. It's really just out in the middle of, like, there's the landscape here in Pennsylvania, just outside of Philly, is just beautiful. Like, it just tree lined everywhere, and out of the trees you go inside this place, and all of a sudden it's open, to this beautiful looking course. So yeah, it's pretty neat, but got to get to feel the lay of the land and everything, and really that's what you for me that's the first thing that I'm doing, is just figuring out where things are at, where I can go, where I can't go, and everything like that. Figuring out where fans are going to travel along for the week, and finding out, points where traffic may be heavy and stuff, and trying to avoid that. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Yeah, I saw that it is Aronimink. It's Aronimink. It's a Donald Ross course. I saw that Jill Hans kind of brought it back to its original design, where there were more bunkers and the greens were smaller. And I was wondering, how could you compare it to another Donald Ross course like Oak Hill, where the PGA has been held?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, with being a Donald Ross course and everything, they restored it, like you had mentioned, Gil Hans, to sort of an original, trying to get back to original design of it, and they added over 100 bunkers to this place, to where it's at 170, I believe it is, bunkers total, where it's not like your one bunker in the fairway, right or left or whatnot. It's clustered, like it's three different cluster bunkers next to each other, and then of course you got your bunkers protecting the greens and everything. Um, and like it meant, the greens are original, and they're really cool. Just first glance, I got a lot of the front nine is predominantly what I got to see, and I'll see more of the back tomorrow. But just taking a look at it, the ridges and the green concepts right there are just amazing. It's going to be fun how they're going to set this up, what pins they're going to put on particular days and everything, to see how the challenge will be for the best pros in the world. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, the course overall, the Ross one is tremendous look to it, and the restoration, I think, from Gil Hans is tremendous. They widen out the fairways a little more for members, and to make it a little bit more for them. But at the same time, they did add bunkers as well, which doesn't help the members. It makes it a little more challenging for them. But the rough is high. That's another thing that's along with it. That's going to be important to get through for these guys. If you're not driving it well, it's going to be tough when coming into these greens, because this course really is an approach course. It's a ball strikers course, and that may be a chalk thing to say, but it really is the truth, because these greens can be very tricky. You got to put it into certain spots to get it close.
This was a course that not a whole lot of people knew about, because the last time that it held a major was 1962. And you want to look back at some history, Gary Player won that tournament.
Yeah.
I heard the greens are crazy too. Just what kind of stood out to you as far as what people should know about this course? You went into a little bit about the adding the bunkers and elements like that.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, Gary Player, being the last as far as a PGA championship goes, over 6 decades or whatnot since he won it at Aronimink. And then from there, like there have been other tournaments along the way. The last one, I think it was a women's PGA championship most recently, but as far as on the men's side, it was 2018 BMW championship won by Keegan Bradley, who's a local Northeast guy. And all that week, it was just sort of drenched city, USA. It was raining all week, and they took full advantage of it. Keegan did, and won that thing, just flying it at pins. I think it was winning scores like 20 under or something like that. But,
And Justin Rose won
yeah.
the AT&T here when it
Mhm.
was played like 16 years ago. So Justin Rose definitely a player to watch this week, especially since coming after the Masters.
Yeah, and he 15 minutes down the road here from Aronimink is Marion Golf Club, where he won his U.S. Open. I'm gonna hopefully try to swing by there, because people don't know that U.S. Amateur this year is at Marion.
Oh,
And
wow.
if you look on the map, just locally around Aronimink, there there are just tons and tons of courses around this place, just surrounded by all sorts of different ones. And Philly golf is really neat. So just the history of it and everything like that. But yeah, a lot of good stuff, a lot of good golf around these parts.
And I saw that Marion, like some people say, it's too short for the modern game. But I think like if you put more bunkers and you make the greener smaller, then that should be defense enough, because those courses are, classic. Even though there are so many new courses, there's a reason why they still play those tournaments there.
Yeah, and like courses are always finding length here and there to add, and I'm sure Marion's going to be a part of that too. But yeah, you can set it up in a way, just like Aronimink here. I think that it's going to be a challenge for these top players in the world, and yeah, it's going to be fun to see what the test is going to be like, especially looking at the forecast coming up. One of the things I mentioned, like you had asked about just things about the course too, and some of the comments that I got from a few folks, just talking my people with ESPN. One of them said that Aronimink, or the area, has been in a drought, and so a little bit of a drought. So like it's been looking like firm or whatnot, like the greens and everything. They haven't had as much rain, I guess, as they normally would. But later this week and on Wednesday and Thursday, it looks like good rain possibilities are going to be coming in right there. So we'll see how much that we get. But um, I think so long as it's less than 2 inches or something like that, I think the course will be fine. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's supposed to warm up and be sunny. So I think it's going to be fun when we get around to the weekend to test these guys when the greens are fast and firm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw.
especially if it's windy.
Oh yeah, I saw that the
Mhm.
wind's going to be going like every different direction all 3 days, so that'll be fun. And I also saw Sunday it's supposed to be a high 80s as well, so could be
Yes.
hot and windy.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was told too. Like it's gonna start heating up, getting warm, and I think that's exactly what this course needs. Because the the front side of Aronimink is really where you need to get your scoring from. Those, especially the first 4 holes at Aronimink, just looking at him today, it's really a lot of it is straight ahead of you. And a lot of these guys with their distance, those first couple of holes are just going to have driver wedge or driver short iron, and it's about being concise with your distances, to try to score there. And then you come to number 5, which I think is number 5 is going to be so much fun to watch. It's a par 3. It goes out to 171, the furthest, and the green is just diabolical. Like, just first look at it and everything, you'll find out. But they're gonna set it up to where they're gonna find a gnarly pin to place it and put the distance at around 100 yards or something. I think, and that's the cool part that you can do with this course is you can set things up to where you may have like a short par 3, and then your long par 3, like number 8. Number 8 is going to be ridiculous. It's 242 yards. It is 14 down, but the look off the tee whenever you see it is just like, oh man. But but yeah, so it's gonna be fun to see how they set it up. Number 13, that's gonna be one to where they set it up a little bit shorter and guys can try to drive the green, but there's out of bounds in play along the left.
Wow.
As it gets up to the green. So it's a risk reward, that's going to be put in play for these guys to try to test them to see if they want to go for it or not. And depending on your position, where you're at, top of the leaderboard or whatnot, it's going to be fun to watch. So it's just a few holes that came to mind and everything.
Yeah, I think the PGA, in comparison with the USGA, doesn't try to make the course just brutally hard. Like it's a tough test, but at the same time, it wants it to be exciting. Like it's when they usually put like the best players in the world together. I mean, I'm sure that we would have some crazy pairings like Rory and Ram or Scottie and Bryson.
Yeah, definitely. They always find some really great pairings or groups the first couple of days or whatnot. And I've had the privilege of being in those groups and some of those top groups that are going out there those first 2 days, and walking out to where their drives end up and seeing where they're looking at toward the green, and maybe what sort of shot shape they want to put it to the pin. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a true test, for these guys if it can stay dry. Scores might be a little high maybe that first day, but who knows? Depending on wind conditions could play a factor. You never know. But yeah,
It's the luck of the draw. That's what happens in these major championships.
Yeah, for sure. So Andrew's boots on the ground there, as he said, it was his first day there, walked the course a little bit. But what does your week look like once the tournament gets going and you're out there spotting?
Yeah. So, well, first thing today, like you're just able to get to the course, get set and see where everything's at as far as the compound that you're in, the broadcast compound, where that's at, where places to eat and all that. There's like a broadcast place where everyone at the TV compounds goes there for breakfast, lunch, dinner. So figuring that out, and then just trying to find spots to set up in the course. And for me, I'm figuring out where I can see drives from the tee box. and figure out where the landing zones are going to be on drives, because that's where the closer I can be to those, the quickest I can get my yardage book out and start doing my math and figuring out the yardage, the approach shot distance to give off to my talent. So yeah, that's really what I'm doing, and so I'll be on the course tomorrow and just going around and just seeing the lay of the land, really, and just get to see a little bit more about the greens, maybe watch a few guys, see how their approaches are going to be, how they land. Is it hard bounce, is it not? Um so so yeah, that's really what I'm doing. And then we find out, like, on Wednesday, what our group is going to be, that I'm assigned to. So my talent that I work with is Ned Michaels. So he's I've been working with him over the last couple of years. I started out with the great Andy North, two-time U.S. Open champion, and a few years ago he got hip surgery. So we put him back in his in studio position. He did in studio and on course, but this time around, after that, he's just sticking in studio after his hip surgery and stuff. And just getting a little bit older in age plays a factor. So yeah, but Ned's tremendous, and it's great to work with him. But we get some awesome groups, and yeah, ready to go at it, and just getting prepped and ready. For me, it's like being a caddy, and just doing your preparation, like on distances and everything, where you want to go to certain pins and all that. But for me, being a spotter, I'm just trying to figure out where do I need to position myself to see where drives are going and landing, because some of these holes for Aronimink, it's like a bowl, like it's described like a bowl. And so you have these holes where they're dog legs, but they're reverse camber is what it's called. So if you have a dog leg left, a lot of the times your tilt on the fairway would be to the left, like it would go with the dog leg. Well, this one is reverse camber, so it goes the opposite way.
Wow.
So it's the fairway slant to the right if it's a dog leg left.
That's weird.
So
Wow,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Interesting.
you'll have different ones, like different lies for guys to factor in on shots. So that's gonna be very important right there, for a lot of guys for these approach shots. So
Yeah, that's interesting because if you want to hit it around some trees, like right to left, but the lie is downhill, then it's a bit harder to draw the ball that much.
yeah, yeah, and it's some of the holes out there. One of them that I think, number 7 is an interesting one, because you'll see it a lot, and they'll show it a lot, because it has this white caddy house that part of the original Aronimink Golf Club. I think it was a caddy house where caddies lived and stayed at. And it's just this little white house that's left of number 7 green. And it's really neat looking. So
I
yeah,
saw that's where the chief, Native American chief lived.
yes,
His name
yeah,
was Aronimink, which meant like
yes.
the place of water.
Hmm. Yep, yeah. So it really cool history right there. But like number 7, as I was saying, like you can try to drive it, and like it's a dog leg right, slants left, reverse camber. It goes downhill to a green. But if you have a certain pin in a particular area, like on the right there, you really want to create some more spin put into that. So guys will probably be laying back to get like a full shot into the greens. So that's something to watch out for whenever you're watching the coverage this week.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to hit an iron off the tee, but that's but if you have more confidence on a 50 yarder than a 100 yard, then just hit the drive.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like I was seeing that for somebody talk about the Scottie Scheffler short game, and they were saying how he hits like down on the ball, which means he hits it like low, and it's more like a skipping shot. And sometimes even if he has like less room for error because he has to land it in a very specific spot, he has more confidence in the shot. And so some people like give up like dispersion in terms of like a landing area when it comes to like when if they're better on that particular shot, then the dispersion on execution is less.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Scotty's always one of those where you just trust his short game. However he does his full swing, it's different and whatnot. Maybe compared to others with the footwork and everything, but the short game seems to always be there. So yeah.
Scotty, one of the favorites this weekend, but we'll get to our picks and a little more of the previous year later. But let's look around the PGA Tour and the other golf tours this weekend. It was a busy weekend. We'll start at the Truist Championship. Chris Rayton, the rookie on tour, was top 10 on the DP World Tour last year, gets his first win on the PGA Tour. Just 15 starts and gets it done. The second Norwegian as well. Victor Hovland, OSU alum there, for our guy Andrew, second Chris for Chris Rayton.
Yeah, pretty neat. How he got it done and whatnot. He put in a tremendous round on Saturday, going 64 there at Quail Hollow. That's just really impressive. The PGA was there last year, and I was able to take that one in and whatnot. But to do that on that course, that's really really good. So yeah, hats off to him. DP World guy that's just trying to make his way, and he's been having some fairly good finishes over the last couple of weeks, month or so. And finally broke through and got the win. So hats off to him. Played a tremendous final round to get it over the line. Had guys behind him charging, and Alex Fitzpatrick just sort of choked it off or whatnot with the lead that he had after he put in a 64 as well. To have the lead going into Sunday. So you thought maybe he could maybe pull it off after, getting tour status after winning with his brother in New Orleans. So yeah, good on Rattan, and we'll get to watch him a little bit here at Aronimink.
Yeah, Rayton was he was an alternate for last week at Doral, and then got in because Jake Knapp withdrew. Then he finished top 10 there. And before that, he got into that event through the Aon Swing 5 because he finished runner-up at the Zurich. So just a lot of great golf from our guy Chris Rayton, Fernando.
Yeah, Chris, man, what a smooth swing. It's just butter. It's just peanut butter. It's so sweet, man. Especially like that finish, like it looks like effortless. Definitely a guy to watch this week. And Fitzpatrick also, like Alex, he's been taking advantage of these opportunities. They have suddenly risen to the top of the golf world. And yeah, congratulations to Chris.
I was also very excited that my favorite golfer as a kid, Ricky Fowler, had T2 finish. He set the number in the clubhouse for all the rest of the chasers to beat, and his putter let him down those last couple holes. But it's his best finish on the PGA Tour since 2023. That's when he won at the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Yeah, it's good to see Ricky start to get a little form back. It's really cool after, he got off to a crazy start. You go 74-63, like like your first 2 days, and then you followed up 69-65, and so I mean, good on him. He's putting himself in position, and that's what a lot of Ricky fans, a lot of fans in Oklahoma that are Pokes fans love. So yeah, and Ricky always loves Quail Hollow, so it's one of his favorites. So good on him for putting in a good week.
Yeah, horses for courses. And Ricky and Rory definitely have a love affair with Quail Hollow. And I was seeing that Donald Ross also designed the Seminole, and the pro and Rory McIlroy won the Seminole this year, so might be a good sign.
Yeah, it's Donald Ross and his everything that he's done, for the game of golf, and just all these tremendous courses that he's been a part of one way or the other. A lot of them from around this area. It's not just Aronimink and Marion, but it's some other
Over
smaller.
400 courses. I was looking at that. Man, that's so many. Including like the Beatmore in Miami, in Coral Gables, or East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta.
And the PGA Tour plays there, so they loved some Donald Ross, the PGA Tour, the PGA Tour folks. But new to the PGA Tour, and he keeps on impressing and showing he deserves to be on there. Alex Fitzpatrick, T4, it's back-to-back top 10 finishes after winning with his brother Matt at the Zurich. And people were talking about the bunker shot from the Zurich Classic, but you also have to think, like, Alex was the one that was making a lot of good shots in that tournament to go on to win, and now he's showing it. And it was cool too because he went to Wake Forest, which was close by, and he was also battling it out with Cam Young, who was his college teammate and roommate at Wake Forest. So nice little cool connection there for Alex Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, definitely. It's been really cool to just see the massive climb in a short period of time from Alex, and everything. He's been going along pretty well on DP World Tour and everything. And when you have the opportunity to go up to be with your brother and everything, who Fitzpatrick right now, like number 4 in the world, I believe. He's playing tremendous. RBC win, place that he loves there. So good on him, to get his card. He'll be on tour for a few years, get to do all the signature events and everything. It was really a life-changing thing for him and their family in general. So yeah, it's really cool, and put himself in position for a win himself. But just didn't get it done. It was a lot of his driver that let him down on Sunday and just put him in really bad spots at Quail Hollow. So yeah.
Yeah, he kind of got it back around on the back 9, but then on number 17 on the par 3, kind of gave it away, and he was reminiscent of his shot with the Zurich Classic to win with Matt Fitzpatrick on number 16, I think it was. It was the same shot, but obviously it's not the same when you're playing by yourself. But he's got the game. I mean, he could even win this week. I'm not sure he's in the field.
Yeah, he's in there. He's in the field. So 17 on that that Green Mile of Quail Hollow is that you can easily get a double on that hole, and it just demands a really good iron shot from there. And a lot of the times in that area, it's figuring out a lot of the wind in that spot from what I saw last year there. So yeah, hopefully he can keep some momentum going this season. Who knows? He may be in contention this week.
The other event on the PGA Tour, 45 years young, Brandt Snedeker earns his 10th PGA Tour win at the Myrtle Beach Classic. Impressive milestone. The President's Cup captain as well this year, so he'll get the chance to now play with a lot of the guys who he'll pick for the team firsthand. And he was asked too after he won, is he going to pick himself? And he said, no, that's a ridiculous question. But no, this is good for him though, because it was 8 years since his last win, and he's been through a lot of different injuries with his ribs and chest and back, and he's the one that's putting in the work at 45. You know, golf you can win at any age, as we know.
Yeah, definitely. It's really cool for a lot of these guys, you know, to have these one-off tournaments, you know, that are outside the signature events, you know, that are tournaments that are going on and everything. And so it gives guys like Brandt and a lot of others the opportunity to, you know, restore themselves, you know, and get an opportunity for victory and make have a good finish. And so good on Brandt, man. We just remember his early days with, you know, keeping that pop stroke on the putting greens alive and draining a lot of puts and all that. So
back in the day, he was the guy. Like,
what a short game.
Yeah, like 7, 8, 9 years ago, he was the guy on tour.
Yeah, you know, visor, long hair. Now it's bald. Yeah, so yeah, but very consistent week for him. You know, 67, 66, 67, 66. He switched to a new putter now. With
Spider.
The long, Spider Tour X, like a lot of them are doing. After, you know, he used that Odyssey Rossi forever and ever. And so he switched, and hey, he got a win, and now he's here this week at Aronimink for the PGA. So good on him, man. It's that's exciting. I was secretly wanting Brandt Snedeker to have the captaincy for Ryder Cup, but you know, he's going to be the one off. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Brandon Wheeler is very happy. He's over the moon with this win.
Yeah. Let's go over to LIV. It was a dominant win, wire to wire for Lucas Herbert. Made it a little interesting on Sunday. Sergio got within 2 shots there with 8 holes to go, but Lucas Herbert was dialed in, and I guess he's good when he doesn't do any practice rounds, because he talked about how he was sick, so he didn't play Monday or Tuesday, and then played the back 9 only in a Pro-Am with his father-in-law on Wednesday. And his previous tournament that he won in Japan, he also didn't have a practice round either. So wow. I guess he's good at golf when he doesn't know what the course is like.
Yeah. Who knows, man? Golf's like that sometimes. You know, you just, you know, being sick as a dog, and you know, trying to power through it and everything, and it's impressive. Anytime you can do that and come away with a 4-shot victory against the field, that just speaks for itself. You know, it's good stuff right there. Have to give a shout out to my guy, my Sooner, Anthony Kim.
Yes,
10 under on Sunday. Ridiculous. Got himself a T6 finish. So good on him.
Yeah, he'll help the Four-Aces win that 3rd team title by going 10 under on Sunday. Crazy.
He hit a beautiful shot on the playoff, man. Like a 5-wood on the rough, man. Wow.
Yeah, Anthony Kim he's been the story on LIV, man. I mean, from winning in Adelaide, and then he's helped both or all three of the team victories he's helped with. So great addition to the Four Aces. Anthony Kim has been the story of the year.
Man, talking about Lucas's win, like, did you see he was like leading by 5, and then he hit it over the green on the par 3, and then he hit a good chip, but it came all the way back to his feet, and then he shot a double bogey, and Sergio made a birdie. Suddenly looked like anybody's game, but man, Lucas held on. I think the weather delay helped him as well. And but talking about like Lucas's the fact that he doesn't play a practice round when he wins, or and the fact that he was sick, I think talks about more about the game itself because, like Alexander Rocha said on this show, the less you think about, the more you're prepared to win. Like if you're just thinking about, oh, let me hit it to the pin, you're not thinking about positions on the swing, or you're not thinking about the moisture on the grass. Maybe the less the better.
Exactly, because we all know golf's a mental game. You don't want to be thinking about a whole lot. So there we go. How about on the DP World Tour, though? You're off Primlaw's. I mean, he's an unknown golfer, but you'll know his name now because it'll be in the record books forever. A record 14-shot win on the DP World Tour. And not only that, he had like 3 bogeys in this final round. He still won by 14 shots.
Yeah, it's just so ridiculous, and I think I heard he hasn't really had like anything better than a top 30 or something like that.
He only got his card this year, I believe. He was in Q school last year, so just came on the scene out of nowhere.
Yeah, that just speaks in itself just how awesome golf is, like as a whole, because you never know on any given week, if there a guy like this out of nowhere just finds something, and that's personally for yourself, trying to swing a club or whatnot, that's the feeling that you want is, you find something in your swing that works and is effective, and if you're able to hone that in, you're able to score well, and that's what Primlaw did. So good on him, man. That's excellent stuff.
Man, what a crazy story. Like, even after his first round, which was a solid 72 under par, he made 5 birdies that day. You'd be like, okay, hopefully this guy makes a cut. And suddenly he puts on like a freakish run. He ended up making 33 birdies on the week. He made 10 birdies the last 2 days. I mean, that's more than 8 birdies per day. How can you play so well, like being like somebody who nobody thought who could win at the beginning of the tournament? I mean, it was even less of a chance than when Anthony Kim won on Adelaide.
Yeah, I wonder if there was any betting odds for Primlaw at all. I mean, I don't know. It's like they had to be like plus $1 million, I guess. I don't know. Someone who's not plus $1 million though is Scottie Scheffler this weekend. He's the overwhelming favorite as the repeat champion at the PGA Championship, plus 480. I know we haven't done our picks yet, but I bet a lot of us will pick him in this panel right here. But just how do we see Scottie? He's been second now his last 3 tournaments. He won one of his first tournaments of the year at the Amex, but I think he's ready to win one again. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Defending champ, coming into this one, he's taken some time off to just sort of key in on this one, so coming into it, so I think he's going to be right up there. I just think if the ball striking's there and he's able to keep drives in play or whatnot, then I think he's going to be really good here at Aronimink. So, but overall, he's got he's got new family life going through with new kids and all that, and so I think he'll play really well in this place, and put in be atop of the leaderboard toward the end of it. So yeah, but I think the preparation that he has is going to help quite a bit coming into it.
And took a week off as well to not play the Truist last week. So
Yeah.
he's coming
Yep.
in fresh. We saw a lot of these golfers who are playing a lot of these signature events, maybe getting a little tired, gas coming off the brakes a little bit. But how do you see Scottie playing, Fernando?
Yeah, from what I see, this course is more strategic than power. I mean, obviously, Scotty has the power, but he has that beautiful mind too that goes with it. He always knows where to miss, and yeah, he could win by 14.
There we go. Someone who else is the second betting favorite is Rory McIlroy, going for his third PGA Championship, and he talked going in. I think this interview was yesterday. He was talking about how he went up there for a week. He did what he did with at Augusta, where he did his little day trip up on his little private jetty and jetted up there and played the course and jetted back at night to see his daughter. So he's taken advantage of not really playing a whole lot. I mean, the Truist was the first time he played since the Masters. So how do we see a rested and still playing very well Rory McIlroy doing this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably gonna overpower this course. I think like certain holes, like with his distance, he's able to cover a lot from the bunkers that are set up. So his power is going to be a big time advantage for this course. It's just, can he dial in his wedges the way that he needs to? How tricky are, with these greens and the way that they're set up with all these ridges and shoulders and whatnot that are very tricky, and so you got to put them in right spots to get birdie opportunities. So yeah, it's really going to be a lot of his short game if that's dialed in and he's able to scramble to from time to time around these screens, then he's going to be right up there again. I think we're going to have a fun Scotty v Rory, sort of thing toward the end. So that's my hope. That would be tremendous. So
We would love to
Yeah,
see that.
I mean, Rory, I think he is very accurate with his driver, and that's why he's so dangerous. Even though he hits it that long, it's, like Scotty said, it's because he hits it right where he wants to, and he played well last week. Obviously, he's coming off the momentum at the Masters, which has a lot of crazy greens too. So yeah, Rory is gonna be there as long as he doesn't shoot himself out on Thursday like Scotty. They're definitely gonna be up there on Sunday.
Yeah, you always wait for if you're betting on Scotty, wait till the weekend and then bet on Scotty because he always puts himself out of contention and all of a sudden he's finishing second. So
Then you
there's
get
your
better odds that way.
yeah, there's your betting advice. Cam Young though, I mean, he's the third best odds favorite, and he's been as hot as ever. We saw him, in that last group with Rory at the Masters. Then he won at Doral by 6 shots, and then last week he finished T10, but a lot of the commentators were saying on the broadcast that maybe he's played a little too much and coming in, he looks a little tired from playing all these signature events. But I still think, and Andrew was saying, you need to bomb the ball well, and he's one of the best drivers on the tour. So I think he'll do pretty well this weekend still.
yeah, definitely. It's been so consistent, and Cam is right up there. Like trying to in the conversations. I mean, right now he's third in the world, in the OWGR. So that that's hard to think about, over these last couple of years where he's sort of been in position, hasn't got broken through. So yeah, I think this is around his neck of the woods here in the Northeast. New York's right nearby. So around these parts and everything, I think he's going to be up there as well. And yeah, like a lot of this, it may be chalk, but I mean, just the way that Cam's playing, I think he's going to keep it up. Swing looks really awesome. So if he can keep that putter rolling, he's going to be right up there again. So
Yeah, Cam Young, what a run he's having. I remember Will Salvatore said when he was back in college with him, Wake Forest, I think that
mhm.
that
Yep,
the
like
you
guys.
you should not try to outdrive Cam Young, and now he has a caddy who apparently lines up his ball for him on the greens, and suddenly Cam is making everything like he's making like a 30-footer every 3 holes, like it's insane.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
if I'm remembering right, his caddy is his teammate from Wake
Mhm.
Forest.
Yeah,
So
that was quite the team. Well, I mean, Will
yeah,
Zalatoris, Cam Young, Alex Fitzpatrick, Eugenio Chikara, who's on the DP World Tour, who's won a couple times. I mean, that's just. I mean, I don't know how that team did, but that's like a national championship team right there.
yeah, and I mean they play like around these Northeast you know golf places and everything. They know it really well. So Cam's familiar with this around here, I'm sure, and so yeah, I think he'll put in a good week. I think.
Just like Cam Young, Matt Fitzpatrick, the other hot golfer on tour this year, come in with 3 wins. Didn't play last week, but played the week before. What do we think about Matt Fitzpatrick? I mean, he has to be one of the favorites this week as well, just with how he's won the Valspar, how he's won at Harbour Town, how he won with his brother. He's made some amazing shots to close out wins like that playoff with Scottie at Harbour Town, where he dialed in that 200 and I think it was 6-yard iron into within a couple of feet to win in the playoff. That was just an incredible shot. And the bunker shot and that Zerk. I mean, he's just shot making right now like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's been fun to see sort of a little resurgence from Matt and whatnot, and yeah, fourth in the world right now. So it's been impressive stuff. He's just so solid, really, from tee to green. He's a really good iron player. Built up a lot of speed. Of course, over the years, that's sort of what he's known for with a lot of his training and fitness and whatnot. So, and also just being a nerd on stats and everything like that, and dial and figuring out everything as far as his shots and everything that goes into them. So yeah, Fitzpatrick's been impressive, and I don't see him struggling here. I think he'll be up there too. So it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see all the pairings of these top guys and who they're gonna go with.
Yeah, I mean, he won the U.S. Open, and I remember he was talking about how he improved his fairway bunker game a lot before that tournament. Obviously, he's just been improving on the bunkers. He's like the king of the sand now. And if this course has more bunkers, I mean, I guess he wouldn't mind. Because I saw that Tyrrell Hatton was talking about how the worst part of his game was also like the fairway bunker shots. So yeah, I mean, we maybe have to look at that stat.
Let's look it up for sure. Another name that I don't know, have we forgotten about him because he hasn't been playing well, but he is going for the career Grand Slam if he does win this weekend. Jordan Spieth. I think he's had maybe one top 10 this year, and he was kind of started out well at Doral a couple weeks ago, was at the top of our leaderboard, and then kind of fell off on Sunday. But do we see a possibility of this happening? Does just Jordan Spieth have a chance, or what do we think here?
Man, he's just so hot and cold. It's tough to uh, think that he'll be in a position on Sunday to try to get that grand slam. It's certainly in his mind. Just like Rory had it. His thing was Masters to try to complete it, and every year going into this thing for him, it for Jordan, it's just gone by and just hasn't worked out over the years. And it's crazy because after he started winning a bunch of tournaments and Masters and whatnot, you thought the increase of wins and success would keep going, but it just really hasn't over the years. It's sort of weird to see, but you never know how things are going to go with him and Greller. Who knows? Maybe they can put in a solid performance this week.
Yeah, I think he's on the right track. I think he's improving. I think he's trending. Uh, as we know, he has one of the best short games ever, and he gets confident with the flat stick. He could, I mean, he could win, of course. I mean, he's more on the radar than Jurab playing Prem Lau last week, definitely.
I know Andrew's excited about this because he got the invite to the block party. Michael Block
Yeah.
returns for the PGA Championship. We all remember him coming on the scene, and Andrew was there to witness it all. Andrew, how excited are you to see your guy Block back and playing in this thing after he played so well in the pro qualifier?
Yeah, it's great. So ever since I started doing this gig with ESPN, he's been in every single one of them. Like this will be his fifth PGA. This my fifth PGA. I remember back in 22, like his first PGA. Like I always look through and like see how all the PGA professionals that gotten into the tournament and everything, how they fare or whatnot. So because it's really cool to me, with all the local PGA guys that teach everyone the game of golf and whatnot. Just the work that they put in and having a chance, to play in a major like the PGA is just really cool. Just being a part of that and just seeing the different personalities and whatnot. And certainly Michael Block's one of them. Um, just over the years, but I was saying like back in 22 at Southern Hills, I think he exploded like on the back with like three straight double bogeys or something, and very possible on the back nine at Southern Hills to do that. But yeah, the situation back in I'll always remember that back at Oak Hill. Of course his ace and then his ridiculous up and down to make it into the next PGA at Valhalla was awesome. Just one of those things I'll always remember. But good on him for playing well and just being in for a fifth consecutive PGA. So we'll see how he fares this week. I think, this course is pretty long, but you can take advantage, like I had mentioned, like on the front, and some of these holes on the back too aren't too crazy, but yeah, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, Michael Block, he's such a great character, and he's definitely a good PGA professional because his son has a lot of game, and so that's proof right there that not only he's a great player because he's always posting like these really low scores. I saw that he qualified like with an amazing shot on Bandon Dunes on the 18 because the pin was all the way tucked on the back left, but he had just like a wedge, but he hit it like he bounced it all the way onto the green, but on the low part of the right side of the green, and it just rolled all the way there. Like, this course is even from 100 yards, you cannot aim at the pin, man. It's crazy.
And didn't you say like he could outdrive Rory or something at one point? I forget what the exact quote was, but he said something like that. Mr. Confidence out here, which we love though.
Yeah, he's definitely a personality that people lock on to, whether good or bad. He's sort of a lightning rod in a way for a lot of folks, but I think most of them enjoy his banter and everything that goes along with him. So yeah,
I know some people that just want to watch because of him. So there we go.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's amazing. I mean, to finish top 10, and it's so good that the PGA awards 20 spots for the PGA professionals.
Oh yeah, we love that. That's the cool part of this major as well. How about some other golfers that Fernando's watching? Ludwig Ober, he's been great form this year. Had a couple leads on Sunday. Justin Rose, like we said, he lost in that playoff to Keegan Bradley the last time the PGA Tour was there. Hasn't played too well with those McLaren irons, but he's been playing well previously. Winning at Torrey Pines this year, and then also his every tradition of finishing top 10 at the Masters.
The McLaren irons, the runner-up at the Masters.
Yeah, and then Gary Woodland, who also won this year, Rock Chalk Jayhawk, and Chris Rayton, who just won this last week. So, Fernando, what stands out about these names?
Yeah, this just makes sense to me this week. Maybe not my top three, but they're right there afterwards because they have all been playing amazing this year. They haven't won a major in a while. I mean, obviously Ludwig and Christopher haven't won, but these Nordic players have been playing so well under these tough conditions that, yeah, all of them are great. Obviously, Gary's our favorite.
Gary.
Yeah, man. Speaking of Gary, like I've told for like his whole situation is just amazing, and how he's handling it and whatnot. And I can like I was in Gary's group back in this was at Oak Hill in 23. I think I was in his group, and he was struggling that week, and just didn't make the cut and whatnot. And it just didn't seem like he was his normal self. Like, the way that he had normally been playing around that time and whatnot. I just like something was up. And then after a few months later, he comes out and tells everyone just about his situation, with the lesion or whatnot that's going on, and just brain surgery and everything there. So, but getting through that and going through, like it mentioned, his struggles, with PTSD when it comes to that and all and everything. So, yeah, I'm always cheering for Gary because he's a really cool dude, just out on the course whenever I've come across him. So, yeah.
Definitely freed him up for sure, admitting all that, the PTSD before the Players' Championship, and telling specific stories about things that have happened on the course where he's almost, scared of even walking scores behind him and other people on the course, police officers, security officers as well. But it's definitely freed him up, and he's played well since he's said that. So I think you can see Gary up on the leaderboard this weekend.
Yeah, I was looking at a concept that said that if you withhold something from the world, like if you don't open up about something that is going through you, then like the collective consciousness cannot like acknowledge it, as well.
Well, we love Gary for doing that, and we hope he plays well this weekend, as Fernando predicts. Let's get into some picks. We'll do Andrew first. And I think we're all going to pick Scottie. So Scottie's first up. Cam Young, and then JJ Spawn, the U.S. Open champion, and he's really been playing well too. He won in San Antonio, and that putter is starting to really help him out as well, finishing T10 this last weekend.
Yeah, it's running a little good momentum coming in. Overall, he didn't make the cut back, this year, last month. And so really in the PGA, he hasn't necessarily finished really well, just the times that he's been in, missing a few cuts. And I think his best finish is like T35 or something like that. But, I think with JJ, he's able with his game to put in a good performance. He tearing it up last year at the U.S. Open. He's able to do some really good things on the course. So I think he may be in contention when it comes Sunday. And then my other picks are just like, fairly chalk, but I think, like I mentioned, Scottie, I think will, just with the time and the preparation that he's put into it, just having a week off and everything, I think he's really focused and he'll play really well. And just Cam being a local dude in the area, just how well he's playing, I think he'll be up there too. I thought about Xander. I told you, like, every time I pick Xander, he doesn't do good. And every time I don't pick Xander, he does good. So I'm just going to steer clear of Xander this time around. He'll probably win it. It is what it is. But yeah.
And okay, then, so Xander's winning. Okay.
Yeah, probably. More. I saw him on I saw him on the range too, just practicing in the short game area for a little bit and whatnot. So yeah. Look out for my guy. Like I mentioned this last time too, but Chris Gotterup, Jersey dude, a couple hours up the road to Piscataway. He's very familiar around these parts. So yeah, and he has the power to get around this course. So if the putter,
I thought Chris was from Oklahoma.
He's a Jersey kid.
Okay.
Yeah, Jersey kid. Yeah, did he go to Oklahoma after Rutgers? Right. That's what.
Yeah,
that's what
he went to Oklahoma for a year. Won Haskins Award and everything. So yeah, he was with Rutgers to start, and then came to Oklahoma.
I went a little different with my picks this week. I love Ricky Fowler, and he's playing well. He had the T2 last week at the Truist. Before that, 2 top 10 finishes. So I think Ricky will finally get that major at 37 years old. I've been waiting for him to win a major. I thought he was going to already, but it's his time. As we know with Brandt Snedeker, you're never too old to win a big-time golf tournament. And then, of course, it's the PGA Championship, so I have to put Brooks Koepka on there. I mean, the dude's won it 3 times and finished T11 last week at Myrtle Beach, and I think, you might have, punched the bear a little with him. He's not really playing any signature events, and he's seeing all these other guys win those signature events where he probably could win. So I think you can't go wrong with Brooks Koepka out there. It's a PGA Championship. And then, yeah, I mean, Scottie Scheffler. I mean, what else can I say? He's probably going to win. So, it's time. It's time.
Yeah. Don't run into Philadelphia police or
definitely don't.
And I don't know if I told you about
get a driver.
I don't know if I told you about that about situation with Scottie. I don't know if I did last time.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, so this was Valhalla. So I was in the area when everything happened. So I get there really, really early to the course. You have to take shuttles, and there's just 2 lanes down this road where it's just coned off the whole way, and it's just big, huge charter buses that go through to shuttle people to the course. Well, I was on it, and normally you're like designated for these buses. We just plow right through, get through easily, no traffic at all. And then all of a sudden, come to a stop, and just we're like, what's going on? This isn't normal. And so we're thinking, probably a wreck or something like that, and just clear it out, get out of the way. And then everyone's searching on their phones at their time that they're just, sitting on the bus. And we find out, yeah, there was a wreck or whatnot, like further along down that road and everything. And then all of a sudden, it was something about Scottie. And then I was like, was he involved with the wreck? And all of this was just very fluid and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, we start seeing that, he got arrested, and videos coming out and everyone's learning about it. Well, this was like toward the front entrance of where you turn in and whatnot. We were probably like 200 yards away or something like that. So we may not have, we didn't even see it happen or whatnot, but it was just ahead of us. So we had I had to get to where we needed to go. Like a lot of us need to get there on time and stuff. And so we bailed out of our bus and just walked the rest of the way. And then we come out, and then PGA puts out the driving range is closed and all that. And it was just weird because normally we'd be out on the range, seeing guys practice and hit shots and stuff like that. And it was just nobody. It was just weird. But
Wow.
that's my whole story.
He made his tea time.
I was in the vicinity of everything that happened. So
All right,
there's no excuse to missing your tea time.
Prayers up to Scottie that he doesn't get arrested this time around, and the Philly PD lets him through and everything.
I think we're good here on out.
And he shot 5 under.
Yeah, Scottie, man.
Yeah, he did his best that day. He didn't do as great, but the round after that he did. So, yeah.
And Fernando's also going with Scottie, so all three of us picking Scottie to win. I think that's pretty easy. No explanation there. We don't need to give any more reasons. And then Jon Rahm and Thomas Dietrich is Mr. Top 5 on LIV Golf. He's qualified for the PGA through that, and he's looking good for the U.S. Open as well.
Yeah, Thomas Dietrich, it's competing with Angel Ayora for best swing in the world. It's just so easy to watch. There's just no way he's going to miss it. And then he putts like crazy. He should win this tournament. But this, as we know, the major championships are more than just ball striking prowess, and it's more about, like you said, the toughness. How tough are you? How deep are you willing to go to get this dub? And that's what John and Scottie just do. They just go and they push and they try their hardest, and it's good enough to come out on the podium. And one of these three should win this week.
I saw a weird coincidence. One of the few players that I saw out there while I was going around the course was Thomas Dietrich, and he was playing with Dustin Johnson.
4 aces. There we go.
Yeah. So I got to watch them both drive it on number 18. So yeah.
There we go. And
what do you think?
Do what?
What did you think?
Oh, they both hit it well. Both Thomas and DJ hit it well. So fairway. So
just don't as if you go back to the Masters episode that we had Andrew on the last time, he told that story about Jon Rahm hit it out of bounds and he had to tell him. So just let's hope that you don't get in one of those situations again with John Rahm this weekend.
Yeah. And what's crazy is in this whole discussion, we never gave a thought about John Rahm, and it's just like saying that, 5 years ago, however many years ago when, he started winning a lot and everything. And it's just crazy now. Like not many people are giving him any chance in majors now. And it's just because it's been a struggle, and it's just weird. And just things really haven't worked out for him with LIV. And so yeah, but hopefully, won't lash out at any cameraman or, have any tough looks at me or anything like that for giving him bad news on his drives. So,
and it just happened again on Mexico City. Did you see it? Ram was leading, and on the third round, he hit it out of bounds on number 5. And the volunteer told him that he was inside, and then he got to the ball and he was out of bounds, and he was so mad at the volunteer he had to go back, and yet he still won by 6.
Yeah, well, we know not to tell John Rahm one thing, and that's that he hit the ball out of bounds. We know that for sure. Andrew, we appreciate you coming on for our PGA Championship preview. Andrew is there this weekend as a spotter for ESPN. If you enjoyed this episode, we'll just tell you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button below for weekly episodes. We have guests like Andrew on every week. We've had some golf entrepreneurs, some pro golfers on as well. So we appreciate you all tuning in, and we're excited for another major, the second major of the year. So Andrew, we appreciate you coming on and giving us a little insight on Aronimink.
Yeah, man, this was fun. I love chatting with you guys. Love talking golf, and this is gonna be a fun one at Aronimink. I think a lot of people will grow into this course, just not having too much knowledge on it, from previous times or whatnot, and everything. But I think it'll be an intriguing one. Outside of last year at Quail Hollow, where Scottie just, really didn't have to do much in the final round to win. Everything before that has been a lot of fun toward the end. So hopefully we get that this week.
You can only hope for a good battle on Sunday on 18, and Andrew will be there all to witness it. Maybe some cool stories to share, just like the last couple ones.
Yeah.
From previous episodes.
Keep your eyes out. You might find me on the course. I get some cameos here and there. So yeah.
There we go. All right, Andrew, we appreciate you coming on. Starts Thursday, PGA Championship. Like we said, subscribe for weekly episodes. And Andrew, go Thunder tonight. Close it out. Sweep the Lakers.
Gonna do it. Close it out. Move on. Conference finals, baby.
There we go.
Thank you, Andrew. Say hi to Michael Block for us.
Yeah, we'll do.
Have fun at the block party, and everybody have a good week.
Let's watch the game.